Hi guys, welcome to another session with Tattoo Business Doc. I'm Dr. Justin Buerta. And right, tax season 2026 is in full swing as of the 13th of July. That was last week, so I can tell you it was quite nerve-wracking. Before that, SARS decided to auto-assess those that they deemed should be auto-assessed. That was quite the circus, I will admit, because a lot of them have already come back where those auto assessments are being reviewed and or withdrawn because there's additional sources of income, which wasn't taken into consideration. Where I could have said, "Oh well, no shit." If you look at the history of those taxpayers, there's always something else like additional medical expenditures that need to be taken into account, retirement annuities, investments. All sorts of weird and wonderfuls. I mean, I've got clients that look after their elderly parents. Now, if you look after your elderly parents, those are dependents on you. So any medical expenses or any expenditure you have in direct relation to their health and their well-being and their upkeep, you can use as a deductible expense in terms of the tax laws. So that's not always known to SARS. And that's the funniest thing of all. So we have gone and reviewed every auto assessment, and I would advise that if you were auto assessed, to go and check, because a lot of people get auto assessed and things change, and SARS doesn't necessarily know it changed. And there's a lot of guys also that I'm picking up these days that are sole proprietors that think they can fly underneath the radar. Now, I've done a video on SARS knows everything, guys, and it is now coming home to rest. Trust me, it is now happening. SARS is picking up a lot of discrepancies in people's incomes in their bank accounts and that which they declare. So AI is in full swing, guys. I warned you. I've been warning people for the last 10 years that be careful of what goes into your bank accounts because SARS knows. Now, how things have developed was that they first gathered the information and the systems weren't even close to being able to handle it. And then the grey listing of South Africa happened, and then all the banks went through this whole FICA thing, and everybody's accounts needed to be FICA'd over a period of time. And it was linked with the Reserve Bank, it was linked with the Financial Intelligence Center, it was linked with SARS, and CPIC is linked, the Department of Home Affairs is linked, NATOS is linked, ACTEX is linked. So, guys, if there's paperwork, SARS knows. All right, if it's in the bank, SARS knows. So, we're going to be spending a lot of time trying to explain to SARS why incomes into the banks differ from the income that has been being declared for a lot of business people. So that's going to be fun and games, guys. So this tax season is going to be a ripper. It's also been cut by almost a month. Normally it would have been here by the end of November, but it's now going to be at the end of October, which is putting a hell of a lot of strain and stress on a person because there's a hell of a lot of information that a person needs. And also your company's financial statements need to be done, all those kind of things, so we can determine additional incomes, if there was dividends declared, all those kind of things. We've got to look at loan accounts, this, that, and the next thing. Guys, you know what, I sometimes sound like a broken record, but I sound like a broken record because people just don't listen. They think they're clever. I still have people that sit at a braai or they get together and they sit and talk as a bunch of business people, or they sit in a bar and they get talking, and then they're like, my tax advisor, my accountant, my this, my that, what. Guys, when you lend your ears out, you set yourself up to fail. To fail. Guys, stop lending out your ears. I've not studied this for 27 years of my life, so that I can get told what another accountant does or another tax advisor does. I think I'm pretty damn proficient in my craft. I am a chartered tax advisor, so there's very few of us around, and I battle SARS. I battle SARS. My name is well known at SARS because I don't fear SARS. I don't panic if they phone. If they phone and they yabba yabba yabba, I put the phone down. They'll phone again, and if they yabba yabba again, then I'll get an email, and then I'll respond to the bloody email because I can't play, but the computer says no, the computer says or the computer, I can't play that game. I'm far beyond that game. So yeah, this tax season is going to be a ripper. So I would advise that you pull your fingers out of your ass, especially if your historical tax is not compliant. Guys, get yourself compliant. Do everything in your power to get compliant. Trust me, you are playing with an enormous monster. That it's an enormous monster, and unfortunately, we've got a bunch of lunatics at the helm of that monster. And all they want is money. They need to find money to fund this government, to fund all this crap that's going on in this country. They need the money, and they will find the money, and they will use any way, any means, in any way possible to do so. Legal, and not say legal, questionable or not questionable, guys. Trust me, I am in so many different classes at the moment. I'm doing so many different things, and even I'm like, okay, well, shit, that's new, you know. That's new. Oh, okay, so that's happening now. That's happening now, and it's yeah, it's interesting world we live in, you know. And unfortunately, it's not the advisors and the accountants and all those kind of guys that's failing. It's the clients. They don't tell you everything. They don't prepare. They don't listen. They lend their ears out and everything else. Guys, I'm telling you now, be careful of this tax season. This is the make and break year of taxes. Be very mindful what you submit and when you submit. Guys, I'll see you in the next session. Have a good evening.